Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell by the title of the video, my Dior order is here and I'm so excited to try out the palette, to try out the new highlight, and they also gave me a free sample of one of their matte lipsticks. Let's dig right into this new makeup. Okay, my lovelies, hair is pinned back behind the ears. As you can tell, I already have foundation, concealer, bronzer on. I did see my hairstylist yesterday. My extensions had to be moved up and she also had to retouch my color. And she went a tiny bit more on the copper side for the blonde and I'm loving it. Even though this shade is giving fall vibes, I'm still loving it. I'm gonna rock it either way. Okay, I purchased two items from this new Dior 2023 spring collection. They came out with two 5-pan eyeshadow palettes, two new shades of the luminizer, which is the highlighter, and bronzers. But I don't think the bronzers are new. I think just the embossment on the actual bronzer and the packaging itself, like the compact, is for spring 2023. I was going to grab a shade, but the one I want, which is shade 6, it was for some reason not available. So I decided to take it as a sign that I shouldn't grab it and instead picked up a highlighter. Honestly, it's only because shade 5 I own in the normal Dior packaging and I really have to build it up. My husband is outside doing yard stuff, so if you hear noise, that's what it is. The kids are out there with him and screaming and crying has been happening all morning. So just FYI. I did also get a sample of a little matte lipstick from Dior, but it's not from this collection, like the shade I mean. Okay, so let's talk about the two items that I purchased, and I think I'll talk about it and then use it. So let's get started. Okay, so the 5-pan eyeshadow palette. This retails for $65. The palette that I did not pick up, which I'll put a picture of it right here, Eden Rock, and it has that pretty blue shade. I know for a fact that I would not pick that palette up too much because of that blue shade. There's just me and blue, we don't get along that great. But the one I did pick up is the 533 Rivage, and it is a luminous orange satiny nude tone. And it has a luminous orange, satiny nude tones, and a sun-drenched white. So I feel like the vibes of this is like summer, which is crazy because it's a spring collection. Let me read you the description here. Created by Peter Phillips, creative and image director for Dior Makeup. The eyeshadows in the collection capture the unique sun-kissed tones of summer at a Hotel du Cap Eden Rock. The eyeshadows offer a harmonious and couture composition centered on an azure blue and a luminous orange, the key colors from each palette. Okay, so the orange in the palette that I picked up is the star of the show. A typical Dior packaging, nothing special, no limited edition packaging. And here is what this color story looks like. This orange looks so pretty. I'm excited to dip into it. These are limited edition. I feel like for Dior, when they say limited edition, they are pretty true to their word, and it is limited edition. Like once it's sold out, it's sold out. So far, both of them are available. Rivage, which is the one that I have, and Eden Rock. So we're going to apply these shadows on my eyes, and I could tell you my thoughts on it. Okay, I don't own too many Quint from Dior. I don't purchase too many eyeshadow palettes from Dior. I have to really enjoy the color story to bite the bullet. For some reason, this one just really called out to me, and that's why I decided to go ahead and purchase this palette. Okay, so I am going to jump into this little Natasha Denona brush. I forget what little mini palette this came with, and then honestly I don't even know where I'm going to start. These two shades, you know what, why don't we swatch them first? Let's start with these two, the white and that pretty like light gold shade. Okay, and now the middle shade, the embossament's pretty much gone. Okay, so pretty luminous. Now the orange and then that other brown tone. Okay, so one of the browns is darker than the other one. Good. So there's the orange and there's the brown. Okay, they actually feel really great, very soft. Okay, so we are going to start with this brown. You see the embossment? It's pretty much gone. Okay, since it's a tiny bit darker, I'm going to start with this one here, that Natasha Denona palette. I honestly don't even know where I'm going to go with this. This is going to go in the outer corner, and I am going to tap, because if you have seen Dior reviews, then you know that their shadows are pretty, you have to really build the formula. If you know, you know. Ooh, but this shade is so pretty. I don't think there's a matte in this palette at all. Maybe the white, but even then I feel like the white has a tiny bit of sheen in there. But this is a gorgeous shade, and it's like satin shades. I know some people aren't comfortable with putting satin in their crease, but I don't mind it. I think it actually looks very pretty. Okay, that's what we got. Now with this Ofra fluffy brush, I'm going to jump into the middle shade, which looks a tiny bit more warm and light. I'm just going to use this very softly on the edges of this brown and just kind of try and blend it out and create that shape I want. This one is not, it's probably because I'm using a fluffy brush, honestly. I feel like you have to be very strategic when using Dior or Chanel shadows and use not such fluffy brushes, because then it's very hard for the pigment to even show up, you know? Okay, and that's what the eyes are looking like. Pretty sheen. I feel like these tones go really well with my skin tone. Okay, now I'm going to jump into the pretty orange shade, and this is a Morphe and Ariel 829, and this is a flat fluffy brush. I kind of want to pack this color just because, I mean, it's bright, but I feel like packing it would go over best rather than trying to blend it into nothing. I did put down a tiny bit of glitter glue, my trusty NYX glitter glue, just because I feel like it would go over a lot better with some help, because you could tell it's actually a pretty sheer shade. It's very pretty. I have to be strategic at how I'm going to lay this down so I can get the most payoff possible. And I think packing it's going to be your best bet. Okay, and now with another fluffy flat brush, this is the E54 from Sigma. I'm going to jump into the golden shade. Hopefully this one has more payoff than the orange one, but I think it might be the same dealio. Again, there is glitter glue down, and I'm going to mostly tap this in. Yeah, it's the same kind of soft, almost barely there kind of shade. So if you were to try and blend this, it would probably blend away to nothing. Just being honest, you know? I feel like with Dior and Chanel, you have to be very strategic at how you use the shades. Okay, doesn't this look so pretty? I've said it time and time again, Dior shadows are either for you or they're not. There are some people who enjoy very sheer eyeshadows. There is people out there that enjoy it that way. Okay, I'm going to grabbed this Sonia G detail brush, and I'm going to dip it into some setting spray, the MAC Fix Plus. I also forgot to tell you I used the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre as my eye primer. Now I'm going to dip into that pretty white. I feel like it's a pearlescent kind of white, because I feel like it definitely does have a shift to it, to let it's not just straight up white, right? I did with the brush. Also, these shadows have a lot of kick up in the pan, so tread softly. And I bet you anything, if you use these lighter tones like the orange and the gold wet, you would probably also get a better payoff. Oh, but that's so pretty. Okay, let me go ahead and finish off the rest of the face, and then we can try out the highlighter and the lipstick. Okay, my lovelies, I am back. I did do my eyebrows. I put on mascara. I went into my sample of the Fenty Beauty Hella Thick Mascara and to the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. I pretty much mix my mascaras every single time I wear mascara. For the blush, I went into the Milk Makeup Blush Stick in Cork. And then I went into my Chanel face palette and I dipped into these two shades right here. Okay, now for the highlighter. This is my old one and this is my new one. I really wish they would have done this highlighter with the packaging that this Spring 2023 Dior collection has. This is my old highlighter, or older I should say. This is in the shade 01 Nude Glow. So I'm going to swatch this. I don't even have room. Just so we can compare the shades real quick, and I want to see if the formula is different. Right here. Very pretty. It's like a champagne-y, peachy tone. It's on the warm tone side. At least to me it looks like it is, and it blends in very well into my skin. So now we're going to jump into the new one from this collection, 002 Coral Cruise. And on here it does say edition limitée, which I think means limited edition. I'm gonna ruin the embossment. And by the way, the Dior highlighters do have that typical Dior smell, so if you don't like that, I forewarned you. Okay. Oh, so I feel like the older one feels a little more creamy than this one. This one feels not as creamy. Maybe a tiny bit more on the dry formula side. Yeah, even when I am... they're similar in tones, aren't they? These are the kind of tones I like for highlight anyways. New one, old one. Nude Glow and Coral Cruise. Yeah, Coral Cruise. They're not that different, I don't feel like. The undertone, I think it's like this one has maybe a little more pink than that peachy. Okay, but they do feel different texture-wise. Okay, I thought I pressed record, but I didn't. I'm going to use my Sonia G Mini Cheek. I already applied some on this one, so I'm going to show you on this side. I thought I had pressed record. And I already have a tiny bit of glow because of the Chanel blush, but you could still see the highlight. You see that? Oh, so pretty. Definitely similar to the one I already have, but I feel like maybe this one is pulling a tiny bit more peachy on my skin. But it's blending in so nicely. It's almost melting into my skin. You see that? So pretty. Okay, before we move on to the lipstick real quick, I do want to do a side-by-side comparison of the two highlights. So you can definitely tell that the new one has like that pinkiness in there, and the old one is more of the champagne peachy. So I feel like the new one looks a tiny bit more peachy than this one. I feel like this one literally just melts right into my skin, and you kind of have to really look to see where the highlighter is. I'm enjoying it. I think it's a good one. The formula is different. I think I prefer the older formula over this one because I feel like it just really sinks into my skin. And even though this one does as well, I don't think it does it as good as the other one. But you can tell my kind of tones. Because even though these are slightly different, if you were to ask a man, he would say it's the same shade. Okay, so I did get a sample of a lipstick. It's the Rouge Dior Couture Color Lipstick. 100 Nude Look. It is a matte shade, and I honestly did not think it was going to be, I thought it was going to be smaller. This is actually a decent size for being a sample. And there is the shade. So let me swatch it real quick and we'll, ooh, super soft. And it has a tiny bit of a glow, so it's not super matte, maybe like a satin matte. That's a pretty shade. So let me put on some lip liner and then we'll apply it and we'll be done with this video and we'll talk real quick about my thoughts. Okay, I tried going into this Chanel lip liner in 156 Beige Natural, but it's actually lighter than the lipstick. So instead I went into this Refi Beauty Lip Sculpt in Fawn, and I feel like you can definitely see that one more. So now let's jump in to this Dior lipstick in 100 Nude Look. Such a beautiful color, and it goes great with this look. It does have that Dior smell. You know how luxury companies love to put scent in everything. Okay, the formula is really nice. It almost reminds me of the Pat McGrath matte formula. Very soft, very comfortable, not drying at all. I would definitely say it's more of a satin. Okay, I am back, and here is what the completed face with makeup looks like. I think it's so pretty, and I actually, for some reason, like, I'm thinking spring now, right? I don't know if it's the orange or what, but I feel like this is an eye look that I can see myself wearing for spring and for summer. Yeah, it's giving me both spring and summer vibes. All right, so the Dior 2023 Spring Collection. What do I think about this Quint in 533 Rivage? I think they did a beautiful job with this palette. The one thing I would change is these two tones. I don't think they were both necessary. This one is not as visible on my eyelid as this one. Like, if I tried to use this the way that I used this one in this eye look, I don't feel like I would have as much pigment as I do with using this one. So I definitely feel like this one doesn't show up as much on my skin tone. Other than that, I think this palette is absolutely beautiful. Now, I know that some people don't think that it's worth it, but Dior caters to a specific audience, and a lot of their audience is okay with having shades that are a tiny bit sheer, and it's more of a wash of color than true pigment. I know, crazy, right? But there is people out there that enjoy that. This eye look is so pretty, it's so soft, it's so ethereal, it's very sophisticated kind of eye look, and not everybody enjoys that. Some people think that $65 is too much for these 5 shadows, but at the end of the day, you are paying for Dior, you are paying for the name, you are paying for all of it, and you're either for it or you're not. Out of the Quints that I have personally tried, I think this one is my favorite one so far. Every single shade in here I think is beautiful, and it works well for my skin tone. I don't know how it would look on you if you were like tan or deep tone complexion. I would definitely have to go check out some videos, but yeah, like, I love this. Okay, now as far as the new highlight, I do feel like the formula is a tiny bit different from the older one. This one just feels a tiny bit more creamy. I don't know yet if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because honestly, they both perform fairly equally. I do feel like the older formula maybe melts into my skin a tiny bit better than this one. but the shade I'm really enjoying. I think it's such a pretty one. It's definitely up my alley and I'm super excited to put it to good use. Okay, and the lipstick, I'm pleasantly surprised about this little free gift that I got. This shade is so pretty and the formula is so nice. I honestly don't feel like I have anything on my lips. Super comfortable, not drying. It's definitely a satin matte kind of formula, but it looks pretty matte. I think this is my first Dior lipstick. I don't think I have any in my collection, so that makes me happy. Okay, well, I hope this review helped you out in deciding whether you want to pick something up or not. I would love to know if this collection was on your radar. Okay, my lovelies, well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea, all the comments, all the likes. If you shop through my links, it literally means so much to me. You have no idea. Again, I hope this review helped you out. Okay, with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. Okay, my lovelies, I will see you on the next video. Bye.